swear to God, every time I make new videos specifically about the Biden regime and just overall domestic issues in regards to the United States, things tend to get worse and worse and worse. And I'm referring to specifically the outreach and tyrannical nature our own federal government is acting. And this goes to show with how the Department of Justice is acting towards parents who, at school board meetings, have been very critical of basically of school districts of for just supporting critical race theory as part of their curriculum, which basically says that the entire system of the United States is built on systemic racism, despite the fact that is obviously BS if you actually looked into American history. But now, the Department of Justice is looking and trying to mobilize the FBI and to basically monitor them just for being against this over what they call unspecified threats of violence against these officials. I have right in front of me the New York Post. I don't necessarily have to show it to you guys on screen. I'm still trying to figure a lot of this stuff out. Even though I've been on this channel for several years, but it's kind of confusing. Anyway, here's the New York Post, and I will be linking the source in the description down below. In an official memo, Attorney General Merrick Garland has pledged to mobilize the FBI against parents protesting critical race theory in public schools, citing unspecified threats of violence against school officials. Garland's memo follows a National School Boards Association request that the Biden administration, check that, Biden regime, investigate threats to school board members and classify sometimes heated parent protests as domestic terrorism. The NSBA suggested that some of these parents should be prosecuted under the Patriot Act and federal hate crimes legislation. You have to admit, this is completely screwed up. How could any American be in favor of this? Just the idea of speaking about this should be met with heavy criticism from anyone, even if you were just a regular citizen, because that's not how our own nation has operated. Besides, a lot of these tend to be very, very peaceful protests against parents. I don't condemn a lot of the I sometimes don't condemn the language, like they use curse words and stuff, and even the few times they did go into fist fights, a few times. But the problem is, this is more led to local matters such as the city police or within the states. They should not be within the eye of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And honestly, despite the fact that I criticize these parents of how some of them have acted, their concerns are legitimate. These school boards have basically gone out of the way behind the parents' back just to promote this crap, such as critical race theory, and even some issues that I've heard such as sex education. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with sex education itself, but when it's meant to push a political agenda such as LGBTQ crap and stuff, then I have a problem with that. If it's just the basic thing where this is part of the puberty thing, about puberty, and that this is what a penis and a vagina does, I have no problem with that. But again, it's about how this sex ed may have been used as a platform to promote LGBT agenda and stuff. But again, these concerns are pretty legitimate. These school boards are going behind the people, against the parents' back. They are not allowing them to have a say in what their child is studying. And this, again, involves their own politics. The school board's politics, not the parents' politics. When, in reality, politics in the education system should be removed entirely. Unless under the context of, say, maybe looking back at history, saying the different points these people have, like, say, with the Civil War. How the Confederacy wanted to keep the slaves, and how the Union wanted to free slaves. They both had different opinions, different arguments over that. I'm not going to get into that issue right now, but I'm just saying as an example. But the fact that these guys are getting so much heat from the parents that they have to go to the FBI is concerning, because now the Department of Justice under Merrick Garland, who quick background, he was actually the chosen nominee to be next for the Supreme Court after, I think it was, Antonin Scalia passed away, but I didn't think that was going to happen because it was a Republican Senate at the time. So I doubt he would have become a justice either way. But now he's apparently Attorney General, is using his power to monitor these people. Ugh, God, what is our country doing? What is our own federal government doing? We shouldn't be having this issue. We should be listening to the community at large, not sucking up to the federal government so that way they can attack opposition. And this CRT is not the only issue that these parents have a concern with. They also have the issue of mask mandates and even vaccine mandates. And this alone has a lot of people up in arms, because this denies a lot of these parents' kids an education, because they don't want to deal with the mask mandates. Some of them, or well, a good portion of them don't want to deal with vaccine mandates, because if they don't get the vaccine, they can't go to school. Despite there being many legitimate reasons behind not taking the vaccine, such as religious reasons, medical reasons, like maybe being allergic, and so on and so forth. Even just the principle of saying, I'm not doing this because of my principles against staying in the way of the government telling me what to do, I would say, in my opinion, that's legitimate. But the federal government doesn't care. It's obviously trying to crack down on as much opposition as possible. And considering that the Biden regime is actively focusing on this whole COVID pandemic as a main talking point to show his regime is somehow doing something so much better than Trump, despite the fact that I would say it's complete BS. I believe that's the main reason why Merrick Garland is going this far, as well as to silence any potential opposition towards these policies that the National School Board Association is definitely sympathizing with because of this move. Why do we even have a National School Board Association? I truly wonder, shouldn't it be left to the communities themselves, or even to the states? This actually gives me more credence to be against the idea of having the Department of Education in the first place. It should be entirely dissolved. A lot of other departments, I say, also deserve to be dissolved, but the Department of Education is definitely one such case. In the case of the Department of Justice, though, I say while we should keep it, we definitely need to defund it. We need to punish the DOJ. We need to also punish the Federal Bureau of Investigation, because I like some of the people within the FBI. I'm pretty sure there are a good portion of people who just want to do their job, try to deal with actual legitimate criminal investigations that are happening within this country. But unfortunately, the FBI has become a political tool. As a matter of fact, Steve Turley actually talked about, when talking about this subject, actually used the term political legalism, which is basically using the law against your own political opponents, while not using the law in other certain cases, like against, say, the immigration issue, and apparently now dealing with the parents of CRT. Yeah, I cannot believe how far Biden's willing to go just to continue to maintain his so-called legitimacy. After the audit, it should be obvious, and especially after how a lot of people are feeling about these mandates affecting them, how this curriculum is affecting them and their children. They don't like this whatsoever. And I agree with them. This critical race theory is teaching racism. 100%, and it's BS. My name is Noah Meehan on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I frame, or how I need to clean up my camera, obviously, or anything whatsoever, please post it down in the comment section down below, and directly message me. And also, finally, I 100% support these parents. Thank you.
Almost